Hey guys, welcome to John Klingberg's episode, aka episode 36. He plays for the Oilers. I'm Lauren.
I'm Abby.
And today we are talking about week 2 of round 3
We're wrapping
of the Stanley Cup tournament.
We are wrapping up the Eastern Conference Finals.
And the Western Conference Final.
Oh.
And the PWHL.
Finals.
And IIHF. All of it.
We've already done IIHF. I wrapped it up at the...
Oh, you did. You know what? I don't care. I'm still going to speak on Tate Thompson because I want to.
Okay. Speak on him.
First of all, little life update on me. I did have one good leg. I have like another leg that I'm supposed to keep straight for like 8-9 weeks. We don't have to get into that. Guess what I did at work this week? I literally strained my hamstring on my good leg. So now this leg has to stay straight and this leg has to stay bent because it won't straighten.
Yeah,
and
she has no good legs.
That's how I'm doing. Nevertheless, we did leave it all on the dance floor at the arcade bar that we went to last night.
We did. And Lauren, kicked my butt at, was it Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah, and if there's one thing I'm going to do, it's beat anyone at Dance Dance Revolution.
And
I don't care. Good legs be damned. I'm throwing it down.
Yeah. I would say, first of all, I can't do that without thinking of the kissing booth. And my friend Naomi's little brother was in the kissing booth. He played young Noah.
I don't think it was young Noah. I think
What's
it was
the
young,
guys?
the other one.
Young Lee. He played Young Lee. He is on IMDb.
He's credited.
Jack Fuckins.
That's our guy right there.
F-O-K-K, but not Fuckins.
He did fucking amazing.
Yeah.
In it.
Also, he traveled China and
He's not single.
He's like 18 too.
Yeah, he's
so
a minor. He's going places. That's our guy right there.
I can't do that without thinking of the kissing booth though.
Yeah.
But also we kind of started a movement because we did that. Nobody else. I hadn't seen anybody else doing Dance Dance Revolution. We did that, and then
they wanted
people.
to, and then they did other stuff, and I was like, oh, y'all don't want to do Dance Dance Revolution like we want to.
No.
I was like, I have 2 working legs.
And you know what? It took it out of me.
So what if I have to pop some ibuprofen later today? It was worth it.
I actually did break a sweat.
Yeah.
But also, our scores were higher than anybody else's.
Oh, we absolutely destroyed them. It wasn't even funny. We locked in so many hours for Just Dance on the Wii, though. It was not ever going to be a fair fight. They really didn't know what they signed up for.
Yeah.
And that's on Hidden Talents.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hidden Talents, shout out to my guy, Shout out to my guy, Tate Thompson, for scoring the game-winning goal so Team USA could win gold at the IHF Men's World Championship.
Yeah, I
really
did that
thing.
voiceover of the final. Lauren wanted to give her own shout-out.
I did.
Because I don't
he's
hear
a Buffalo
anybody...
Sabre. He doesn't ever get talked about.
I was about to say, I don't hear anybody talk about him as much as you do.
I know.
You give him his credits and his rights.
As far as I know, he deserves it.
Yeah. As far as we are aware.
I do the same thing. I have one guy on every team. Even the teams that I'm not a big fan of, that I'm like, and you know what? Shout out to my guy.
Like Dylan Strome. They're having another baby girl.
They are having a baby girl.
Congratulations.
Oh, that was the news I needed to hear.
The video of him dancing with their 2 baby girls already and singing we're
so
having
cute.
a girl.
So cute.
I was like,
yeah.
I do.
I'm happy you're enjoying your off-season, King. You deserve it. Relax. Make sure your wife feels supported.
Yes, take care of her.
3rd time's the charm.
Sorry. Oh, 3rd kid. I was like 3rd wife. He's not been...
No.
This is not his 3rd wife.
I would never speak on that like that.
That's fair.
That's my guy right there.
Okay. Did you have any other?
I just wanted to say that Sweden deserved silver. If only because they have won bronze, I think the 3rd time in a row.
I also think that was the case.
But I mean, I love to see an underdog, so you go Denmark, enjoy that silver. You actually did deserve it. Sorry to Sweden. You'll still have my thoughts and my prayers, and also the best uniform. Don't ever forget that.
Don't ever forget that.
That's
and the
all
best
I have
candy.
on that. Yeah, they do. Oh my God.
That's all
Absolutely poops on American candy. I can't.
Most candy craps on American candy.
I can't afford to import like I used to be pre this president, but I still, as a sweet treat, every once in a while, import myself some little candy.
Yeah, there was a period of time where Lauren was buying candy from Sweden and having it shipped here. Like
every week.
Yeah. I felt like it. Did you sign up for Subscribe and Save or something?
No, every Friday I would order a new bag of candy for like a month.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I gotta chill with this.
Yeah, that's fair.
How else am I supposed to remember and keep in my heart the Forsbergs family if I don't order some Swedish candy?
Dude, have you heard the story of like their wedding? And he tells it. I don't remember.
You're the one that's told me that.
Oh,
they ordered pounds on pounds on pounds of candy.
Yeah, they had like a Swedish candy shop essentially at their wedding, and every family member that came basically brought a suitcase full of candy.
I would have literally paid to attend just so I can have the candy selection.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You wouldn't have even known I was there. I would have been so quiet.
I would have been in that room the whole time.
You could have hired me as a server. Whatever it would have taken to get access to that candy supply, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Short of commit a felony. But, like, there's negotiable ones I'd be willing to look into. But, that's neither here nor there.
Hey, it would be your first offense.
Yeah, it would be the first one I got caught for. That's for sure.
Oh, okay. So, should we go PWHL, and then NHL?
Yes, I only have one note on the PWHL because I know you have facts and I have the vibe.
Well, the only game that we hadn't talked about was Game 4, the game, if you will.
Game 5.
There was no Game 5.
Sorry, I'm blind. I was reading my notes from the NHL version and not the PWHL version. I have one note on Game 3.
So Game 4 in Minnesota, Minnesota had the chance to win the championship. They saw it, they took it, they ran with it. It was beautiful. The score was 2-1 again in overtime. Did every single game in this series go to overtime?
Almost all of them.
Yeah, every single game in this series went to overtime, and every single game was a 2-1 game.
Which is very competitive when you only have a couple of teams for the best players.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited for next season.
Me too.
With the 2 more teams. Oh, my gosh.
With the expansion. Oh, I can't wait for the draft.
Yeah. I don't have too many notes on this because I was so locked in. I didn't write anything down.
I mean, it went to double overtime.
This one only went to 1 overtime.
What?
Yes.
I could have sworn.
Game 3 went to a triple overtime.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's all kind of...
Because Game 3, we were locked in.
It's all kind of...
Until the end of the second overtime. Then I was like, I got to go to bed. I've got to go to work.
We've watched so much hockey. They all kind of run together at
That's
this point.
very true.
In the playoffs, at least. So, Minnesota...
Minnesota. Ayo! We are sisters.
It's kind of crazy. Minnesota scored first in the second period, and Ottawa tied it in the third. I really don't have much other than in overtime. I said overtime, of course, at 1-1. Liz Shepard scored the game-winning goal and the cup-winning goal for Minnesota to go back-to-back champions. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. I was honestly emotional. I wish that No, it's so... Like, it never gets easier to watch the losing team go through those emotions and then have to be there on the ice and shake hands and stuff.
Personally, I haven't watched after the game-winning goal since the Devils got eliminated because I still vividly remember Nico Hischier falling to his knees, and
oh my God,
can't handle that.
No trigger warning, okay?
There was no trigger warning for me.
Yeah, it was brutal, but honestly, the girls were just so happy.
They played so well. They should be so proud of themselves.
Yeah, they played very well, especially for...
But not well enough.
Yeah.
You'll get them next year, maybe.
I hope that Montreal does better next playoff
It needed
run.
to be done because Carla's job needed to be saved.
Yeah.
So either way, I feel like we secured Carla another season as a coach, and that's, a win is a win.
That's fair. And never forget, Carla was right about everything.
Also, the TikTok that they did, the Minnesota Frost did, of like, your first time, and then it pans to the whole team being like, no, not my first time. Oh my God, they
so
ate
good.
with that.
Yeah, it was great. Also, never mind.
Okay. Is that all you had for them?
That's all I had. I really wish that I had taken more notes so we could talk more about it because at this point, like, I've watched so many games since this one. But it was beautiful. I did love it.
I only have one note, which is at Game 3, that DJ, y'all better sign him to a contract deal because there was so much Taylor Swift going, and it was so good.
You know, once upon a time, we said, or we pleaded and begged to be DJs for one of the PWHL teams.
I still feel confident that we could nail it. But they played the man after Minnesota scored the game. I can't remember if it was the game-winning goal or the first goal, and it was iconic. Straight up iconic behavior.
I love that. I did not write that down.
It's okay. I wrote that down.
We wrote down the different things.
You go for logic. I'll go for random vibes.
I have a lot of random notes on the NHLs that just my train of thought. I just have sticky note on sticky note on sticky note.
Well, let's hop in.
Okay. Should we start with the Canes-Panthers series?
We can start with whoever you would like.
Also, I'm wearing this shirt. I'm wearing my Jarvis sweatshirt. No. My Jarvis.
Your Jarvich.
My
your Jarvie
Jarvis.
and Svechnikov shirt.
My Jarvis Svechnikov shirt from Big Brothers. Step Brothers?
Step Brothers.
God, I'm really...
Big Brother is a reality show,
I'm
babes.
doing my best. From Step Brothers, I'm wearing it in all black to mourn the Canes. That's all.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You are bigger than the whole sky.
Honestly,
but you couldn't fucking get it done.
Honestly, though, the Panthers deserve to win this series.
Yeah, they showed up. We tried super late, though.
We tried super late. If we had played like we played in Game 4 and 5, we probably would have pushed to Game 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that the Panthers all along were more confident going into it.
They're a well-oiled machine.
So I still think that they would have won it, but I am nothing if not delusional. Game 4, though, the sole win of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hey, at least
and they
we
didn't
broke
even do it at
one
home.
of the curses. We broke one of them.
Yes. They won the first conference final game since 2006, and they had a shutout.
Yeah.
3-0 in Florida. Which
is kind of chef's kiss.
Yeah. That game, though, I will say, I think that they caught a break. Mikola, Greer, and Reinhart were all out that game. I understand why. Like, I think there were some injuries there, but I think most of all, Maurice realized that they were up 3-0, and if they're tired or slightly injured, they can rest a game. I don't know. Maybe that's just me reading into it.
I think that's you reading into it.
Okay. Well, they did not play. I said the Canes looked more like themselves, but Jackson Blake was getting beat up.
Yeah.
And he did this series.
He did.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Yeah. They really did their big one with him, huh?
Yeah, they did.
I recall at one point being like, his dad is not going to be happy about that.
I do remember you saying, like, dang, Papa Blake is not going to be good about that one.
Not too much on my rookie.
Not too much on our rookie.
He is breakable. I only have one note that I want to say after
Game 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Kachuk was taken down by Stahl at one point in this game.
And I love to see it.
Yeah, and it was interesting to me because they called Stahl for hooking.
Nonsense.
It was a blatant hook.
It was nonsense.
Then they called Kachuk for embellishment.
I love an embellishment penalty.
The man didn't embellish, in my opinion.
Historically has embellished, so I don't feel bad for him.
But the announcers were saying that earlier on in the game, he kind of dove, trying to draw a penalty, and so I think the refs took note of that and were like, okay.
My thing is, Jackson Blake got a penalty for roughing when he was the one that got roughed.
The man got punched in the face.
I feel like it just equaled its way. Yeah. I feel like it equaled out.
Yeah, he got punched in the face and they got called for roughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kachuk was...
They really said we're going to blame the victim with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. Kachuk was absolutely floored, and he was like, oh my God.
It was so funny.
And then Jordan Stahl's behind him mocking him, and
it was so funny.
It made me think of Tom Wilson.
It was so brat behavior.
I loved it.
Jordan Stahl doesn't... This is going to sound bad. He doesn't do much, but when he decides to be a sassy diva, God, he is a sassy little diva.
Yeah. That's for sure.
He's a chill guy until he's not. And then he'll park you when you're on bench.
Yeah.
And he won't even catch a penalty for it.
Nope. Yeah, Stankoven scored first about halfway through the second period. That's the first time that the Canes led this series. Or led a game in this series.
He's been here for half a season and got us the first point in playoffs.
Yeah, and then Jankowski scored off a beautiful pass from Robinson. Unfortunately, it was called for offsides.
Which it was.
It was. It's true. And then the Panthers pulled their goalie with 2 minutes and 22 seconds left.
Thank you.
Aho scored on the empty net. And then they kept their goalie out, and Stahl scored on the still empty net. So it was a pretty dominant game from them. And then with 30...
Hold, please. If there's... Because I'd like to make a comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just interrupt me whenever.
If there's one thing Sebastian Aho is going to do, it's score on empty net. Him and Svetsky, that's their sweet spot.
Yeah. That is for sure. Also, I'm pretty sure that Svetch, could have scored and instead passed it to Aho so he could score.
Teammates.
Yeah.
Hockey romance.
Just kisses in her eyes. It's fine.
Kachekov would be jealous.
Yeah. He'd come off of that bench.
Period. He'd say, no touch my guy.
No touch my guy. With 35.6 seconds left. Now, the Canes are up 3-0. There's 30 seconds left in this game. Oh, God, I can never say this man's name. Godovich got a 10-minute game misconduct. I didn't really see what happened.
It felt... Personally, I wanted to call embellishing on the refs for that, but just an audience member.
Yeah. And with that game, they won their first conference final game since 2006.
My thing is, we're still owed a storm surge. So, what? When do we get to cash that in?
I don't think we do. I don't think until next
That's bullshit.
Season.
Because we suffered for them. They wanted to act like they didn't know how to play hockey when they knew that they owed us a storm surge, and we never got it.
I think I need to
That's how you reward your fans?
I think I need to go back and rewatch an old game where they won, where they absolutely dominated or something at home, so I get a storm surge too.
We need to go watch from in October, because every time Ghosty scored, they'd be like, a Ghost has scored.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll never forget it was the Halloween one. He's got that kind of release that makes you go boom.
We love.
It was great.
Oh, and I miss Trip Tracy. I miss that guy.
I do miss Trip Tracy. I hope you're well.
Nobody comments for the Canes like Trip Tracy and his friend do.
I love. He's great.
I don't know why I can't remember the other guy who does the commentating with him.
Oh, I don't know Mike's last name, come to think of it.
Well, it's not Wazowski. I know that.
No, it's not. That's for sure. Did you say that you had something?
Yes. So after Game 4, one of the interviewers asked Seth Jarvis essentially you do know this. Too. This kind of, I think this went viral. Mm-hmm. But they were like, Seth, how does it feel watching these young guys Stankoven.
You were right the first time.
I don't know why I second guessed myself with him. And Nikishin play their first playoffs game. Do you remember when you were a young guy playing in the playoffs for the first time? And Jarvie goes, I'm 23. We're the same age. I don't know why y'all think I'm 40.
Yeah, he was
he is 8 months older than Nikishin.
Yeah.
And he's a year older than Stankoven.
He was I'm only a year older than these guys. Oh, you're right.
Do I remember when I was young?
Last year.
Currently.
Well, no, it was so funny. He was yeah, I do remember that last year was...
Literally. What the hell?
I had that written down. I also they asked Taylor Hall about the Panthers after Game 4. And he said, they just went 7 games against the Leafs, right? They're not a perfect team.
Which is a crazy thing for a man who was begging for mercy a couple games ago to be saying about the team that has whooped them.
And it's also a crazy thing to say when you're down 3-1 in a series.
They're not a perfect team?
That's probably fair.
That's fair.
But
the energy in which he said it was so sassy for us to be down 3 games.
Yeah, it's true.
But you know what? I like it.
I
like that razzle-dazzle.
I have some other quotes.
Okay, go for it.
Those are going to be after Game 5. But Rod, I think it was after Game 3 in press or whatever. No. It was after Game 4 because all the rookies did amazing. Yeah. And they were like, are you proud of your rookies, essentially? And he was like, yeah, but the rookies can't be the best players on this team. Like, we've got star players, and they're not playing like they're stars.
You know, sometimes stars burn out. Like in playoffs.
Oh.
Like Austin Matthews.
Oh, I was thinking of the Stars team.
No, I wasn't going to do that to my Finns.
Yeah. Okay, game 5, back in Raleigh.
Back in the depths of hell, you mean?
Which it's crazy because up until this series, they hadn't lost a single playoff game at home.
Hey, if someone's going to mess with you, it's going to be the Panthers. And you're on home, too.
Yeah, and Mikkola, Greer, and Reinhart were all back as well. Darius Rucker sounded the siren before this game.
It was interesting.
The pause. I still have Wagon Wheel stuck in my head. I forgot that man existed. I mean, obviously there's like Hootie and the Blowfish, but we grew up in the country and he was his own country.
When we were growing up, it was Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
It wasn't him and the Blowfish or whatever.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah. That doesn't sound right.
It is right.
Is the pronunciation right? It doesn't matter. Welcome back, Darius. Where have you been? Enjoying retirement, as he should. Man's like 50-something.
He's got to be older than that.
He looks 50.
Hey, Siri. They aged.
How old is Darius Rucker? He's
59. Yeah, he's older than 50.
Oh, he just had a birthday. Happy late birthday.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie sounds better.
That's what I was saying.
It didn't sound right how you were saying it.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. It's neither here nor there.
So, back to the game.
Segue number 1.
Aho scores about 4 minutes and 39 seconds to be specific, and off of a break. Whoa.
Try again.
Aho scores off of a turnover at center ice, has a breakaway, shoots, scores. He then repeated that same goal at the end of the first period. Sorry, I lost it so quickly. They played so good in the first period. I was like, oh, shoot.
I know. They were up 2-0.
I was like, shoot, we've got this in the bag.
I was like, look at us playing our game again. You go, Glen Coco.
Yeah.
And in fact, they did go. They fully checked out.
Yeah. Here's my beef. Svechnikov takes stupid penalties.
Yeah, this is well known.
And
he's the Arbor Jack.
I felt like except I think that he's. Never mind. I'll just say yeah.
Are you sure? You don't want to expand on it?
I felt like he had gotten it together a bit more.
Yeah.
And then this series happened, and for some reason he's taking these dumbass penalties again, these stupid penalties again. Sorry, I just realized there's a 10-year-old that watches our podcast.
I know. But honestly, they've been watching and listening for long enough now that you've definitely heard us say profanities.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a Southern thing. We got like a really, really, really sweet message from someone who listens.
Sarah and Kiki.
Who listened to our podcast.
So sweet.
And we're so Southern that we were like, oh my God, she's heard us say profanities. Even though that's just like a Southern hospitality thing. So
yeah.
We, without discussing it, have been like buffering ourselves for most of the episode. No, I apologize.
Anyways, shout out Sarah and Kiki.
Our queens.
Hey, queenies. There's an interference call versus Florida. So Carolina was on a power play. Mm-hmm. With 14 seconds left in the power play, Svech slashes Ekblad in front of a ref.
Which was so stupid.
I'm like, great, now they're gonna, like, why are you taking a dumb penalty?
Because the Stars were not playing like stars.
They weren't. They were playing like
they wanted to be golfing
coming
with the
down
leaves.
to earth. Oh.
Okay.
We went 2 different routes.
You went metaphor, I went literal.
Well, they called both penalties on that Ekblad situation,
which I felt like was fair.
Because Svechnikov slashes Ekblad, and then they're pushing and shoving, whatever.
As one does.
I swear, and I'll find the clip. Ekblad, no glove in his hand, grabs Svechnikov by the throat. I swear to you.
It was very crazy. Dark hockey romance that I didn't expect.
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing something I shouldn't be.
Like, did you ask consent? Is this pre-agreed upon?
Did you ask consent? So they both got called for slashing and roughing,
Which was fair.
Yeah, that is valid. But I'm just
But
like,
it was
man,
so unnecessary.
I'm like, why you did not have to
We're
do
only
that.
up 2. This is a team that consistently puts up like 3 to 5 points.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yes.
Easy money. When they're not even trying, really.
Yeah. At
No
that point,
offense,
they
Freddie.
only had, at that point, it was 1-0. Luckily, Aho repeated that goal at the end of the
trying
first.
to save us.
Also, I don't know if anybody's seen it. I haven't seen it anywhere, but I saw it during the game. That was very confusing. I saw it during the game, but I haven't seen anybody talking about it. Jarvis goes into the boards with a Panthers player, and the puck like goes the opposite direction or whatever. He grabs his legs and just takes his legs right out from underneath him. It's like,
who, the Panthers player does that to Jarvis?
no, Jarvis accused him.
Oh. Well, I mean, he is a short king, is he not? I think he's only like 6
Yeah.
foot.
I think he's like 5'10".
I was being generous. I don't really think he's 6 foot.
With skates on.
I'm 5'2", though, so everyone looks different.
Yeah. And then
That was risky. That was stupid of him.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that the Canes fell apart in the second and third periods because I think they still played very well. I would say that we let them get some over on us.
Yeah. That's what they excel at.
Yeah. The Panthers just went into the locker room and got their shit together and came back out ready to play in the second period. Greer did look shaken up a bit again in this game, and Luostarinen actually left the game during the first period and did not come back.
Yeah.
Panthers score, blah, blah, blah. They tie the game.
They scored like 3.
They scored 3 goals in the second period.
Back to back to back to back, it felt like. It felt like 3 bullets straight in my heart.
They were pretty spread out, but yeah, it was 3 bullets straight in my heart as well. Jarvis scored in the third period to tie the game. Mm-hmm. They started playing that "I Need a Hero" song, which is
and the Panthers stepped
so
up.
funny.
They said, "You got a hero right here, baby girl."
Yeah.
I'm a score. Watch and learn.
Verhaeghe quickly put them back up a goal, and then an empty net goal sealed the coffin. It was actually a pretty empty net goal because Sam Bennett was in the penalty box. He comes out of the penalty box and the puck is just like right there. And he takes it and he scores on the empty net.
I wanted to say, do you think they spat on the dirt that they buried us in? But honestly, they have been so classy with what they have said. I forget that Paul Maurice and Rod Brindamore have like a very extensive history.
Yes. Okay. Paul Maurice, I like you.
I told you would.
I don't know if I've seen this everywhere too, so people listening have probably seen it. The coaches didn't shake hands at the end of the series, and that was something that Paul Maurice asked Rod Brindamore to do, and he like goes over in front of his bench before Rod gets fully on the ice and shakes his hand and talks to him about it, and they agreed on it, and then the media saw that happening, and Rod's got intense.
He has a very intense resting face.
Yes, and so people were like, oh my gosh, seems like a heated argument between the two. And Paul Maurice, in the press conference post-game, made a point to shut all of that down and praise Rod Brindamore and the Canes organization.
And explain why he doesn't like to do the handshake.
Yes.
Which is fair. It's also not a new thing that he's done. We saw with the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
This is not new, and it's not targeted.
And he said, too, that it didn't used to be that way. Like, coaches didn't
He said the coaches started it. The one who started it just wanted to get his face on TV. And I was like, that's my diva.
Yeah, he's like, he either wanted to get his face on TV or shake Wayne Gretzky's hand.
Which, honestly, fair play to him. I would want to shake his hand, too.
And hearing him explain it, I am kind of like, why do they?
Well, it was funny because the announcers, they're like, when they walk up and they shake hands and they're talking for a second, the announcers are like, oh, like, they're best friends. They've got such a good friendship history together. Meanwhile, Rod has, like, a very intense resting face, so it looks like they're arguing.
But they're not.
And the announcers are like, the power of friendship. It wins again. And then you go on TikTok, and it's like, they're fighting! They're hating each other! They're actually about to knock each other out! And then Paul Maurice...
argument!
And then, like, you scroll, and Paul Maurice is the next clip, and it's like, nah, I just think that, like, that's stupid, and it's just glorifying coaches who shouldn't be glorified. It should be about the players.
Which,
It was such a funny, like, 15 different perspectives.
Yes. I just, man, Paul Maurice, you might be a stand-up guy.
He is a stand-up guy, I think.
Yeah.
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I like the guy.
I like the guy, too. I don't know why I wouldn't. But feel free to tell us if there's a reason we shouldn't.
I am so pale. I look like Edward Cullen. If you see me sparkle, it's because I am a vampire.
Well, I think that the light is just reflecting on you weird.
Well, I'm also very pale, so it's a bit of both.
It is what it is. We really are like
angel and devil
over here right now. All the dark, all the light.
Wow, that's so crazy because you're very golden retriever and I'm very black cat.
I know.
Which is why you own a chocolate, basically, retriever and I own a black cat.
Yeah, he's caramel. He's not chocolate.
Hey, life imitates art. Art imitates life. And together we are united. As the Minnesota Frost, as the Ottawa Charge commercial says, we're constantly looking forward.
Oh, dude, those commercials are so good. The Ottawa Charge one, I can quote.
They're like,
it would come on and I'd be like, moving in one direction, united, forever forward.
Yeah.
And I
chills
every single time.
The Minnesota Frost one was sick.
Oh my gosh.
And then their like PWHL commercial that they made about the two of them, just work of art.
It's great. Shout out to the media.
It was giving Vancouver Canucks intro hype video from 2024 for those who know.
The ice one?
Yes.
That one's so good.
The one that was it was giving Tron Legacy.
Yeah, it literally was.
I had chills. Do you know how hard it is to make a good video when the freaking players are giving you nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
Quinn Hughes is giving you less than nothing.
He's giving medieval tuberculosis
He's
child.
given put me out of my misery, send me to New Jersey.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we can't. Sorry, bud. Suck it up.
You're stuck here. Congrats.
Anyways.
These are all my post-series notes.
That's the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Western Conference Final.
Oh, I did have another note.
Okay.
Okay, the Game 5, Canes and Panthers. The national anthem was sung by Adam Van Decker.
Oh, he does.
Adam Van Decker. Dude, the absolute queen that sang the national anthem for the Maple Leaf series and Adam Van Decker, can y'all sing together? Because he had the most
my God, the
beautiful voice. That is second in national anthems only to Whitney Houston's version.
Wow.
To me,
That's
it was
crazy.
Efficient. He nailed all the notes. He sounded amazing. The Canes shouted "Red" during the anthem.
And then we got our asses whooped.
I don't often participate in the national anthem, but
most of the
had
time,
chills.
I would say 98% of the time, we mute the national anthem.
It just doesn't normally translate well. That's what I mean when I say I don't participate in the national anthem.
Is we mute it.
We mute it because some of the times it just doesn't sound as well.
Also, just like, I've heard the national anthem.
God, we have
so
to stand up and do the
times.
Pledge of Allegiance every
My
freaking
God.
day in school for 12 years.
You know what I wonder? Is that
It's giving cult.
Is that just a Southern thing to have the Pledge of Allegiance before school every single day?
I think it was like a federal thing, and then I think it ended up being state. But either ways, we've only lived in the Deep South, so like to not do that basically means that you hate this country. They're very adamant about the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, you would get like not written
The
up.
teacher, you would get written up. The teacher would write you up. Anyways,
what was I even saying?
nothing. I just had a note, and then we were going to talk about the Oilers.
Oh,
the Oilers and the Stars.
We always mute the national anthem, but every once in a while, I like sit on the remote and we'll unmute it or something, and I'm like, dang.
Well, also,
this kind of hits.
If you look like you can sing it,
yeah,
we'll give you like a couple seconds. But if it's not clicking, we're going to click mute.
Yeah.
The more you know.
On to the Stars and Oilers.
Speaking of America, the Stars.
Yeah. First of all, for our F1 girlies, Mick Schumacher was at Game 3.
Which was
for
crazy.
Dallas.
So Mick Schumacher,
which is crazy.
Mick Schumacher is the son of one of the greatest Formula One drivers ever.
One
Michael
of the
Schumacher.
most iconic, for sure.
One of the greatest. He's one of the top 5. Easy.
Yeah.
I personally would argue he's like number 4.
I
3-4. It kind of depends. I really hold against Arton Senna the fact that he's was like a pedophile.
Yeah.
I know, like, oh, was the time period? It was fine. It was not fine. It shouldn't have ever been fine.
It shouldn't have been fine.
Nevertheless,
he could
arguably
race.
the best driver of all time.
Yeah. Anyways, Michael Schumacher.
He was one of the best Formula One drivers, not only of his time, but throughout all of Formula One.
Yeah.
And then he got into a horrible skiing accident. There's been a lot of, like...
There's a lot
of hidden conspiracy theories about... Technically, he's alive, but he hasn't been seen since the accident.
But some people say that he has been.
Yeah.
His family
doesn't speak on it. It's very freaking weird.
It's just very private.
But it's like...
But it is kind of weird.
More than private. It's really freaking weird.
Yeah. Anyways, his son, Mick Schumacher.
He did a Formula One stint for 2 years. He got put on one of the worst teams on the grid because that's normally what happens when you're a rookie. You start out with a piece of shit car.
Yeah.
And then if you can drive that, then you can normally, like, work your way up. And he just couldn't do it. He did really well in Formula 3, Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, but he just couldn't really handle the shit box that was the Haas car when he was driving it. He did 2 seasons and then got let go, and he's just kind of been beat bopping around. He's a Nepo baby. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. We're not worried about him or anything.
But it was a crazy thing to see him emerge from wherever the heck he's been.
Tell me
at a Dallas Stars game.
I was just scrolling on TikTok,
Swiss.
And I was like...
Wait, no, he's German, but they grew up in Switzerland.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling on TikTok, and I come across this video, and I will watch every single glass front, mic'd up, anybody. It's my sweet spot.
I even watched the Miami Dolphins players at the Panthers game.
Oh my God. I will
watch it. I love it.
1,000%. And I was like, wait.
The Eli Manning one with his daughters at the game?
That was freaking adorable. Good. I was like, I recognize this man. Oh my God.
I was like, is Schumacher. What are you doing here, Mick?
What are you doing here?
Seriously, anyways. What are you doing?
That was all.
But seriously, what are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah,
are you happy? Where have you been?
Is he still racing? I know for a while he raced with Sebastian Vettel.
I don't know. He's either like racing some other discipline or he's just being like a rich Nepo baby.
Period.
And you know what? I don't often support a Nepo baby. I support him.
Okay. Game 4, Oilers obviously won. About 2-ish minutes in, Corey Perry laid a hit on Grenland, who went down. He was, like, skating backwards. Perry came in, hit him, like, right under the padding on his back, knocked the air out of him.
Corey Perry is in his villain era.
He is.
He's been a 40-year-old menace.
He is also waiting on Reputation, Taylor's version, to be released.
Yeah.
And I think that's his right. He went down pretty immediately, fell to the ice, skated off, hunched over. He was fine. He came back. That's all on that. I didn't know how to wrap that up for a second.
He's fine. Don't worry about him.
He's fine. So Rube Hintz in game 2, I believe, got slashed on the foot by Darnell Nurse.
Oh my God.
We talked about this last episode. Yep. Game 4, he was back, and
he did not forget.
He was skating off the ice, and Bouchard came up and slashed him on the same foot that kept him out in game 3. So diva.
It was so mean.
He looked so shocked. Like, obviously he picked that foot up off the ice, and then he was like, he looked, when you tell your cat no, and he's like, what the frick? That's the face that he gave. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Who else?
It was very audacious of him to do that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Along the,
It was so blatant as well.
It was. I'm kind of surprised that nothing was called on it, but...
Same. Because it was giving targeting, but...
I think that other stuff was happening that the refs didn't see, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because they're blind anyways. Zach Hyman also laid a hit. I don't know. Oh, Marshman. On Marshman at center ice. He, like, grabbed his stick and tried to, like, cross-check him a bit. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily enough. But I don't even know what really happened. He immediately dropped his stick and like his left arm, right arm, like went down, like motionless, and he immediately skidded off the ice and went down the tunnel.
He's done for the whole season, right?
Yes, it's now been confirmed he had surgery on that injury, and he's done for the season. Well,
my thing is, when you fuck around, sometimes you find out. So
yeah,
safe recovery.
Yeah, the thing that came out was he had surgery. His season is likely over.
Yeah, no shit, it's over.
Like, of course his season's over.
There's like one game left.
What do you mean? Even if they made it to the finals,
yeah,
he just had surgery. The odds of him going out there are low.
But never impossible. Because anything is possible if you just believe. That's a callback to a Cinderella story.
Yeah. With Chad Michael Murray in it. That one.
Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. The best friend did when he was auditioning for whatever play they were doing.
It was a commercial that he was in.
Yeah.
It's like a tooth.
It's something that you can't... They would not have been able to do that now because it was... Anyways.
Yeah, that movie is problematic.
Deeply. That's also... one of my favorite movies.
On so many levels, that movie is problematic.
Yeah.
It's also...
LOL. Laugh out loud. I love it. You go, Hillary Duff. You get that bag. Are you okay?
That really got me. I don't know why. I think it's because
She's like posted up by the water fountain. Laugh out loud. Send. And she said it with a period, too. So are you laughing out loud? I get it. That man wasn't that funny.
Yeah. Draisaitl scored on a power play shortly after the Hyman situation. It wasn't on a power play from that at all. It was just something that I wrote down.
Unrelated.
Jason Robertson also had a power play goal to tie the game 1-1.
That's my guy right there.
He knew nothing about that. In post-game media, they're like, how'd you think about that? Or what did you think about that goal, blah, 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 that you scored? He was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you scored the sole goal, the sole Stars goal in this game. And he's like, oh, I don't have anything on that because I didn't even know I did that.
I love that guy.
He
is, I think, my favorite Stars player.
Fair. Corey Perry also scored on a power play. Oilers then put up 2 more goals in the third period.
They do that.
Post-game, they asked Rantanen if he was feeling discouraged about them being down 3-1. And he said it's not over until someone wins it in 4.
That man hasn't felt discouraged since he got to leave Raleigh.
I don't know if that's true, but okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this too. I don't know. We haven't talked about this at all, so I don't even know if you've seen this.
I don't know. I've been busy breaking my body in multiple different ways.
I believe it was game 4.
Do you believe or do you believe?
I believe it was game 4, ahead of game 4.
Did you understand what I was doing?
I did. I just went past it.
Why? Because you don't know how to say his name right? Brad Marchand? He said we had belief.
I understand what you're saying.
God, laugh at my joke. Someone. Anyone. Well, now it feels fake. It feels forced.
Laugh at my joke.
Wasn't that funny? Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, ahead of, I think it was game 4, Knobloch was giving his pre-game pep talk in the locker room or whatever, and he goes, Brownie, and he walks out of the room because Chris Brown was supposed to read the starting lineup, right?
As in singer Chris Brown?
No, as in the player.
Okay. Well, sometimes they bring in a celebrity to read off the roster, and I was like, I did not see that.
Oh, it's Connor Brown, not Chris Brown.
Okay, there we go. That makes a lot more sense.
So he just walks out of the room and he goes, Brownie, and he's got a smirk on his face as he's walking out the room. There's a moment of silence. Nobody's moving. Connor Brown comes rolling out of a cabinet in front of the locker room and just it reads off the starting lineup.
Stop. Do you have a video of that?
Yes, I do.
I did not see that. Hold, please.
I saw that and I was like, I've got to tell her about it, but I kind of wanted to get your reaction on this.
No, I did not see that. That's so sad.
Oh my gosh, it was so freaking funny.
That is so funny.
My favorite thing is the comments were like, how long has that man been in the cabinet?
A while. A while.
It was so funny. I said 1,000 out of 10. I love it.
I just know that the coaches like kicked their feet and giggled to themselves when they planned that out.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I mean, Knobloch's walking out of the room and he's got just the smallest smirk on his
I know.
face.
It's like, this is about to be so funny.
Oh, it was so funny.
Speaking of what's not funny, though.
Game 5 in Dallas.
Game 5 made me want to die.
We're not making suicide jokes in 2025 anymore.
I didn't say I was going to kill myself. I said it made me feel like I want to die.
Okay. Game 5 in Dallas. The Oilers won again, 6-3. Ekblom was back. This is the first game he's played since April 11th. So, they never disclosed what his injury was.
They never really do they?
No, it's kind of annoying. The Oilers scored 2 goals on their first 2 shots on net. The second one being scored 7 minutes and 9 seconds into the first period. The Stars pulled Ottinger and put DeSmith in.
I felt really bad for Ottinger. I have something to say. I have seen, since they pulled Ottinger, I've seen multiple people say that, like, this is grounds for Ottinger to ask for a transfer. Calm down.
Yeah.
Let's all just calm down.
Yeah.
Also, I would be hella upset if Ottinger left.
I would be surprised if he left.
That would be a very irrational reaction.
Yeah,
to have, in my opinion. Now, I'm just a teenage
unless there was
girl,
more that went down that we didn't see from that. But yeah, I feel like it was fair. I don't like it. I think they should have waited until the end of the first period. But they called a timeout, and there's
not a way that isn't going to hurt their feelings to do it.
There's an argument for both, but DeSmith goes in
because they were already down 2-0.
That was the Oilers' first 2 shots on net he let in. Yeah,
that's the only that is the extenuating circumstances in which I think it is appropriate to pull your goalie, given that you're down. I mean, this is game 5.
You're right.
You know,
this is a knockout.
We don't
game.
have this isn't game 2. We don't have any leeway anymore. And if you're letting 2 goals in right out of the gate, it's fine to not be on your game sometimes. That's why we have backups.
Yeah. And DeSmith went in. That was his first game played.
Which is a lot.
It wasn't his first game played, period. When was his... I thought I wrote it down.
It's been a while.
Well, apparently I didn't write it down, but it was his first game played since, like, April 26th.
Yeah. That's... For not writing it down, you sure did know April 26th right out of the gate, huh?
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Quote her on it.
But... It is what it... Oh, I did write it down. April 26th.
Wow. You're so smart. She's so brave.
But for reference, Skinner, the Oilers goaltender, had 14 saves on 17 shots. And DeSmith had 17 saves on 20 shots. So he played pretty well, especially for not having played in over a month.
Yeah, for sure.
So...
And for getting thrown in at a weird time.
And he got thrown in.
He didn't have time to warm up.
Yeah, it's hard to get thrown in the middle of a period.
Yeah, I remember when they did that, when they pulled Freddie and put in Kachekov, like,
yeah,
halfway through a second period or something.
Yeah.
It was in the regular season.
Yeah. So...
And then he immediately let one in.
And DeBoer was asked about it in the post-game, and he was like, yeah, the number one reason you pull a goaltender is to put some spark in your team.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like it could have been better said. But I've been listening a lot to Rod Brennamore and Paul Maurice, who are very well spoken.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Along the lines of you don't really get to warm up, DeSmith, within a minute of DeSmith going out, the Oilers scored again. But that was one of 3 shots that he allowed.
Yeah.
Anyways... do I even want to say this? Oh, they still played all right, but about 5 minutes into the second period, Connor McDavid scores on a breakaway to put the Oilers up 4-2.
He does that.
And that really killed Dallas's momentum from that point on. The puck came off of a blocked shot. A shot blocked by Ekholm, by the way. Period king. First
That's
game
my
back.
guy right there.
And pretty much ricocheted to center ice where McDavid said, I like this
He
one.
said, that looks like a good puck to me.
You're coming with me.
Hold my hand and we're going to run.
We're going to run and we're going to go into the net. Yeah, he
Do what Poppy
scores.
tells you.
They scored a couple more goals. The Oilers won the game 6-3. They are going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I think I've seen this film before.
I was doing.
Didn't like the ending.
I hear that, and I hear the mashup from TikTok in my head with a bunch of different songs.
I'm very okay. I am annoyed that it is once again the Oilers and the Panthers in the finals. However, they played the best, and they are the teams that deserve to go.
I agree, and
I really wanted the Stars to go. I didn't think the Canes deserved to go based on how they were playing. But I felt like the Stars would have been a fun team to see the Panthers take on. But now we'll never know. Maybe next season.
Connor McDavid was asked about how he feels about playing the Panthers again in the Cup Finals, and he said he couldn't ask for a better opportunity than to go up against the team that beat them last year, which I like.
I don't want to curse him, but this could be the year that he gets a cup.
Why would you say this? Knock on this wood.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you. Also, Kachuk at the end.
Also, every single team I have supported has been eliminated, so...
Yeah, I'm kind of just vibing.
I'm strictly going on vibes. Yeah. I like some of the Panthers players. I like some of the Oilers players. It's really whatever, you know?
Yeah. Hang on.
I'm not going to be devastated either way. That being said, I do want the Oilers to win. I know I'm in the minority with that, but I really just want to see McDry run to each other on ice and hug in a friendship way and then lift the cup.
I just realized you were still talking. I'm checking my email over here.
That's fine.
I'm technically working today.
Yeah.
It's my
But I'll be
lunch
happy
break,
with whoever.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have to see Matthew Tkachuk's fuck-ass haircut, I'll be fine with whatever.
Dumbass haircut.
Oh, yeah, that's a better way to say it.
I
As long as I have to see that gosh darn haircut. I need his... I can't remember if it's his girlfriend. Oh, fiance.
Are they married yet?
I don't know. I don't keep up with the Tkachuks.
I feel like they've got to be married.
They've been in the regular season.
Yeah, but
no one gets married in the season.
They were engaged at the end of last season. Did they not get married in the off season? I don't know. Hang on. Well, you say what you were going to say.
We would have known. I feel like that's like Connor McDavid's wedding. Like that's a big deal. Like that's Keith Kachuk's kid getting married.
She's pretty private though.
I wish she would privately sneak into his room when he's sleeping and shave his head. I
had no idea where you were going with that. That was crazy.
Let's just clean slate it. It can't get much worse than it already is.
Yeah. What were you about to say though before I asked if they were married?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll look at that in a second. I want you to know I saw a meme today. Apparently people have a theory that Jamie Benn, who's the captain for the Stars,
I know him.
Okay, but other people might not, is the same person as Dak Prescott, who plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
They don't even look alike.
They don't, in my opinion. Anyway,
isn't he a person?
Yeah.
He's a person of color.
Yeah.
Jamie Benn is a person of no color.
But I saw something, there was like a Scooby-Doo meme, and it was like a picture of Jamie Benn, who's like the real reason why the Stars had to lose this game, lose in the conference finals. My God, words are so hard.
Try again.
The whole reason that the Stars had to lose in the conference finals, and then they like rip the mask off, and it's Dak Prescott, and I giggled. That's all. That's
a weird conspiracy.
Isn't it?
That's a weird, funny, ha-ha thing to do. I don't get that.
Yeah, I also saw...
I don't have to.
And I don't know if you remember this from Face Off, but at the end of the Cup Finals last season, when they did the handshake line, Matthew Tkachuk shakes McDavid's hand and says, like, I'll see same time next year. Like, I'll see you here next
wow,
year.
the confidence.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah. Did he manifest this?
He can see into the future.
The way that I could actually see Matthew Tkachuk in his home lighting some sage.
He's like listening to the prophecy from the Torture Poets department.
Yes.
Can I look unstable?
Yeah.
Gather in my covenant of social wisdom. A greater man when I'm back. So I howl at the moon instead. Please. I'm trying on my knees. Change the prophecy. He don't want money, just want to win the cup again, please.
I can't hear that song and not think about that one video that I have on our TikTok of Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby.
That song was made for them.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Taylor knew in advance. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Of course she did. She's Taylor Swift.
She's a mother for a reason.
She actually planted that seed.
Do you know, up until recently, and this just shows you the level of Swiftie I am not, I thought when everyone was like, when is Taylor going to announce Reputation TV, I, for the life of me, thought that she was launching a television show.
Stop.
I didn't realize it was Reputation, Taylor's version. And
Please.
for that, I'm fake. I didn't go to Eras. I was poor.
One of my coworkers has been to multiple Eras tours, and she's a big Taylor Swift fan. Anyways, I thought the same thing. I thought it was just some insider thing that I wasn't cool enough to get access to.
Yeah, same.
But yeah. Anyways, I only have a couple more notes. The Panthers did not touch the Eastern Conference Championship trophy. They did in 2023, and they lost in the finals. They didn't in 2024. They won the cup. So they did not touch it this year.
God, they're so superstitious.
The Oilers did.
This year?
Yeah. The Oilers.
What the fuck?
The Oilers touched the trophy, and
Did they touch it last year?
No, and
Okay,
they
well
lost.
then
And so
maybe.
McDavid was asked about it, and he was like, "It seems pretty obvious to me. We didn't touch it last year, and we lost. We'll touch it this year and see if we win."
Who touched it?
He did.
Who touched the butt?
He touched it. It was so funny too because
That was a reference to Nemo.
yeah, because the guy that was presenting the trophy or whatever, McDavid like grabs it, and even the guy that's presenting the trophy was like, "What?"
He's so unhinged.
And I saw a video from inside the Oilers arena where they do a watch party.
Did a
and he
collective
touched this-
gasp go up?
Yes, everybody was
Literally?
like, "No!" Everybody was like, "Oh my God, why would he do that?"
But I mean, it's pretty sound logic. If you didn't touch it and you've only lost, you might as well touch it. Because what are you going to do? Lose again?
Yeah.
We've already done that.
I mean, that makes sense to me. And they will play game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals on Wednesday. So the day after this is released. Yeah.
Let us know who you're rooting for. We already know who Rachel's rooting for.
Yeah.
The Panthers. Go Cats.
Woo.
Yay.
I just remembered I had written down some other notes that I wanted to talk about. I already talked about that. Adam Lowry for the Jets
Yeah.
had hip surgery earlier this week.
Did he pop lock and drop it too hard?
Yeah, I guess. He listened to the PWHL game where they said, if you can pop it, you can drop it. And he tried, and he forgot the lock it part.
He didn't grease the
Yeah.
hinges first.
Yeah, he's out 5 to 6 months. He should be back for the beginning of the season. Well, no. He'll be back probably in December. He'll miss the beginning of the regular season.
Yikes.
Yeah. Also, we are actively watching Paul Bissonnette crash out about the Marner contract situation. I assume it's on Twitter. I'm seeing screenshots, so like I'm assuming it's Twitter because I don't have that app.
I haven't seen too much about it other than I've seen him I've seen 2 tweets that he did, and that's it.
I've seen like 4 or 5.
You're watching him crash out. Mm-hmm. I was just like, okay,
And then
mind your business.
I haven't.
And also, don't drag Matthew Nyes into this. Keep his name out of your mouth. With
Please.
respect.
Also, I have a non-hockey related thing that I wanted to tell you about. There is this college baseball team. Lauren doesn't care about baseball at all.
I don't watch baseball.
I used to love baseball. I don't really watch it anymore. Anyways, there's this college baseball team that I saw on TikTok earlier this week, a reliable news source.
Yeah, it's about as reliable as the other ones.
Yeah. When they get to first base, the coach that stands at first base gives them a gummy candy, which it's so freaking cute because they'll run, they get to first base, they stop, whatever, and then they go, and their coach puts a piece of candy in their mouth. And I used to work for...
It's like training a dog.
I used to work at a preschool, and we used to give out, like, a single gummy bear every once in a while when we were, like, potty training them or whatever.
I was about to say, that's how you potty train kids.
Yeah, like, when you potty trained them. And they used to just, like, come out of the bathroom or whatever, wash their hands, and then be like... Yeah. And you'd put it in their mouth.
Yeah, Cooper used to be like, can I have an airhead? I'd be like, hell yeah, you can.
Yeah, exactly.
It was difficult to wean him off once he was potty trained.
Yeah, that being said...
like, you don't get... I'm sorry, bud. You don't get incentivized to do what you need to do from here on out. It's your mom's rules, not mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say anything because I love to give myself a sweet treat for doing things.
Yeah. Anyways, that I saw it and I was like, oh, it's so cute. I'm like, oh, they're just little toddlers.
Man, they're just like dogs. We love.
They really are.
Okay, that's it for now.
Anyways.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you next episode.
Yes, we'll be back with the finals.
We'll be back with week 1 of round 4 of the tournament.
Otherwise known as... I can't do that mental math. Yeah, we'll be back for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Bye.
Bye.